Okay, let's start this. Welcome to the stream. Today I want to work on tile metadata for my grid game. I'll put this in the progress column. So yeah, I made an issue for this the last time. I wanted to think about it, and eventually I came to the conclusion that I wanted to take a future-proof approach to tile metadata. What is tile metadata? Basically, it's a way to store some extra information together with the number that represents the type of tile in a certain grid cell. So, for example, I might have different colors of different colors of glass, or I might have some tile that has a direction, so it can be placed either towards the left or towards the right, maybe towards the top or the bottom. Maybe there are different kinds of flowers, maybe with different kinds of colors. There's all sorts of uses you can imagine for tile metadata. So before I wanted to implement this, I wanted to first think about how I was going to implement this. There were basically two options. There's option one, which I believe Minecraft used for a very long time. I don't know if they still use this. And that is to use a 16-bit int and use the four least significant bits for the tile metadata. And another option is to store a 32-bit number, an unsigned integer, and then use then you have a larger. You can have both more types of tiles, but also a larger meta value. For example, if we have 32 bits, then it's really easy to use 8 bits, and then we'll still have plenty of bits left over for the type of tile, and we'll probably never ever going to run out of tile IDs. With 16 bits, you're a little bit more limited, because then you end up with 4 bits for the metadata, which allows you values from 0 to 15. So 16 values in total. And for the remaining 12 bits, the tile type, that goes from 0 to 4096. So that will allow you to have at most 4000 tiles, which is quite a lot, but may not always be a lot if you're talking about like I want to maybe if this game's successful, then I want people to be able to add a lot of mods to the game. They might want to add a lot of tiles. I'm thinking it might be better to future-proof and go for the larger number. Especially since this is a 2D game and chunks generally don't take up that much space. Even if I make a slightly larger, even if I use a slightly larger number for tile representations. It's not that much memory. So yeah, today I want to implement tile metadata. So I'm going to change a few things around in the game. I did a few small things off stream, a little bit of cleaning up, and a little bit of changing stuff here and there, but nothing too major. I already added a buffer unsigned int 32. I've decided to name my buffers in this way from now on. I still need to rename the others, but I think this is the most obvious way to do it. With the most clarity. Naming things is usually pretty important if you are trying to manage a large project, if you want to keep things easy to understand and maintainable. I'm going to change this here to unsigned int 32. We're going to have to change other systems as well to cope with this new format. This is why I want to do it now and not maybe 3 months later, because then I will have a lot of systems that I will need to change. Yeah, so that's why I do it right now, even though right now it's not going to be useful just yet, because we just don't have that much tiles yet. But eventually it will be extremely useful. I find it hard to talk today. keep keep making mistakes while talking. So this will be our new foreground and background layers. They will contain a buffer of type int32, and it used to be a ushort. Now it's an unsigned integer of 32 bits instead of 16 bits. We'll be able to store a bit more stuff in there. Is there anything else we need to change in this class here? I do not think so, but always good idea to check. Hello, 4F 3C5. How are you today? I am feeling a bit warm and humid. I do not like the weather today. It's too warm. I'm almost melting, I feel. Oh, this, I guess we'll need to change this one. Layer. Oh, yeah. That should be better. Okay. We're probably going to have to do some stuff in the tile registry. Go take a look there. I've already changed this to int because I recently added this. No, there's no mention of uint anywhere in this class. So that's fine. Then I think... Very good, thanks. Yes, it is warm, but not too for stop coding. Yes, yes, it's very, very warm. But I want to keep coding. To be honest, I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to stream today. I really want to, but it's very, very warm in my room. I don't think I will be streaming for too long today, but I'll just see how long I can hold on. C layer, that's not important right now. Yes, I think we probably need to change something in the generator. Okay, so here we set your short. We have a tile class int, we convert it to a short, then we put it into the buffer. But the buffer is no longer a short buffer, it should be a integer, inside integer buffer. So I have to change this. It's of course going to make some problems. I'll have to places. And now I'll probably want some kind of utility function. Where should I put this? A lot of work for a little game. Yeah. Well, right now it's little, but of course I'm very ambitious. Maybe even too ambitious. Was I this thing? I'll just make a utility function here, maybe later move it somewhere else. Private int. Set tile value. Int tile type. ID. The that so then what we are going to return is take tile type ID. We're going to have to shift the bits 4 to the left. I think this is the right syntax for that, but I'll have to look it up. It's for left bits. Okay, yes. Okay, yes, so I'm using it correctly. Now, see, this is never going to be more than 1 byte of data. Yeah, I could even do it like this. Or casting, I guess. What will just do it like this? I will just use what was it? Bitwise or don't need then you don't need to add stuff. Call this. Delta buffer. I don't know. Okay, we don't need metadata for these simple tiles. Oh, hello, weird constructor. Good afternoon to you too. How are you doing? The weather so annoying in your place as well. I'm feeling really hot today, really warm, really Like I woke up and I was already tired. That's how annoying it is. Okay. Did we have any other places where we wanted to set the buffer? At least not in here. So it's damp and hot in your place too. At least I got a fan. Oh, you get a fan? You got a fan? I'm jealous. Wish I had a fan. What would be the best name for this function? Like it takes a tile type ID and some metadata, no more than a byte. Oh, and it should be 8 bits. Uh, so it should be in the 0 to 255 range. That will be overkill for a lot of applications, but we're future proofing here. It might be very useful for some purposes. Okay. Now we're setting tiles in a very different way. which will probably confuse the heck out of these other systems. So I'm expecting things to not work. Yes, it does not work. Oh yeah, I also need to change this one. Create terrain chunk. T. Oh, still something happening in the... Oh, okay. It's... That should be you in. So, how is it going with your game for f3c5? Are you making good progress with your game? Okay, so let's just make these let's just make these in. To be you int. Yeah, sorry, I'm just so random right now. I'm just trying to change some stuff. It can be a uint. Where is there long? What the hell? I don't get it. No progress, only a lot of feature, which I'm currently trying to add to the world generator for each biome. Typical structure, plus a little bit of nature, some plants and trees. Well, that sounds interesting. What do you mean, no progress? Are you having trouble with your world generation? Or do you just feel that it's too boring and it's going too slowly? Okay, that was a little interruption. What the hell is going on here? Okay, I'll just use int. It's only really relevant for storage anyway. You are switching between the 5 projects all the time. Oh, you're like one of those. Just like me. Or at least I used to be like that. I used to have this problem where I worked on a project for like maybe a month or 2 months, and then something else catched my interest, and then I dropped the old project and I started a new project, and then I work on that for 2 months, and then this infinite cycle of starting new projects and never finishing anything. So I hope this project will be one that I can actually finish. It's just say it's all int, you know. Oh. That's the reason why I started over 100 Unity projects in the last 2 years. Wow, 100 is really a lot. I think that's normal, and I have to accept that. And these things, these days, I just develop things that I actually want to use myself. Generally leads to, at least for me, usable software. Yeah, that's a good mindset. A good mindset to have. You know what? I'm going to set value. You know what? I'll just use Was it operator? Yeah. Let's do that some other time. For some reason the index and the value got switched around. Maybe because I'm an idiot or something. Grid rental system. Yeah, that's the next one we will have to work on. I'm going to have to change that thing. I'll need to move that utility function somewhere. Let's just put it in some util class for now. Might not be the best place to put it, but I'll figure it out later. No compile errors. Yep, looks like it's working. Now I need to do the reverse. We get something from the buffer, then of course we'll need to convert it to some kind of tile type and meta value. know what? Let's just also put an insert. This is not something like just a bit of a sanity check. Okay. So this one is going to tell type. Now basically take the value and we shift right 8 bits. Did I remove the shift somewhere? Oh, fuck. Let's see. So let's see, we have the max meta. So we take max meta value, which should be 8 bits, that, and the rest should be 0 bits. We use bitwise AND. So all the other bits are set to 0. Yeah, this makes sense. So this way we should be able to take a buffer value and convert it to the tile type, to the meta type that's inside there. If anyone is spotting a mistake, then please let me know. Okay, that should be correct now. This is done. We can go to system now, rendering system. So this should all be uint. Oh, I forgot something. What did we use for the buffers? What the hell? Oh, should have been interface related. So now it should work, I guess. So we can either access directly or we can get it boxed. basically to satisfy the interface. Usually it's better to access directly, of course. All fine. So this is the local buffer that stores basically all the tile values of this chunk and a tiny bit from the surrounding chunks. We change this to uint. Should probably remove this. Yeah, so here we copy from neighboring chunks. Of course, those will all be uints. So what this is doing, we're copying to some variables that represent the tiles right next to the tile that we are currently processing. So if we are processing a tile with a coordinate of 0, 0, then the tile on the bottom might have a y-axis of -1 compared to the current one. Bottom left is -1, -1. Yeah, stuff like that. The current one is center tile. And we'll probably need some new logic to determine if we should render tiles. How do I approach this? Because right now this code assumes that we are just dealing with tile IDs. But of course that's not correct anymore. Now we are dealing with a number that represents both the type of tile, the tile ID, and also its metadata. So we're going to have to separate those out. going to try something like this. I'll do the tile IDs in just a moment. But I'm going to change the names of these. in theory, now everything should work again. Oh, going to have to also change this one. Wait. It's kind of scary making fundamental changes like these. It's easy to forget something and then fuck something up, and it might be really difficult to track down where things are going wrong. So let's just review this. This is what we used to have. So basically that's the raw values from the byte buffer moved to variables, which make it easy to access them in a certain direction. These are then converted to their equivalent tile IDs and meta values. So if I am correct, then this system should be working properly again. That's a very big if. Oh, and we forgot about current. That's the only one we didn't change yet. Current tile ID. And of course your current, this one. So yeah, we almost messed that up. And at least in theory, everything in this system should now work properly. install render system. Still not everything is correct. Cannot cast from source type to destination type. Let's try a debugging session. Don't get any this stuff. Annoying. Yeah, this is bad code. Don't do this at home, kids. But it's temporary. Only so I can actually get the debugger to respond to this exception. Yeah, but breakpoints are useful in debugging, but I also want to know, you know, when I get an exception, I kind of would like to also get a message from the debugger like, oh, now we got an exception, now we're here in this line. Without me having to explicitly set breakpoints. That apparently in Unity we cannot do that. Yeah. Yeah. Fortunately, don't have any stuff. Test this thing. So yeah, it's probably something silly again. Stupid mistake. Where the hell is object? Test. Why? Get it. What's going on here? Why can I not delete all these watches? It's not in scope, really is because we are in a catch. Come on, man. Work with me, stupid. It's a system object. Oh yeah, that's really useful. And it has value of 0. So what is it? Did a uint or an int? Apparently it cannot cast, so what is it? So the layer ID is 1. The grid, just the grid. Grid has several layers. Layer 1 should indeed be unsigned int. Buffers. Yeah, so the first buffer is a solid buffer, the bit buffer. The second buffer, which is index 1, is a buffer unsigned int 32. So we have the right type of buffer. For some reason it's giving weird values or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's the grid itself that's doing something weird in this get cell value. Buffer. Something like this. So when it's yes, yeah, I think I get it. When the buffer does not exist, it returns a 0. We don't really have any type specified here, so I'm guessing it will just return a integer or maybe a byte or whatever. Probably an int, yeah. Apparently that cannot be casted for some reason. Why is that? It should just be able to be casted. really don't understand what's going on here. Ah. You know what? I'll just get rid of this. Change this one. Get wind. Change this to fix this one later. I'll do that my own time. Can just get signed in. Okay. So this is working again. Renderer is working. Of course, other systems still have problems. But that's nice. Renderer works. Get rid of all the crap introduced, debug that little issue. I guess I'll just continue with the other systems. Grid solid render system. Let's see. Oh no, it does not. It does not access that buffer, so it should work correctly. I think it uses the bit buffer, the buffer which stores which tiles are solid or not. Let's just take a look. Yeah, all the colliders seem to still be working correctly. So we don't need to change that one. Nice. This one we don't need to change either. This one we just looked at. Solid render system. I believe that one also uses the solid buffer, the bit buffer that stores which tiles are solid. So I think the editor system is the only one we really still need to change. Or maybe it's the world management system. Yeah, that's probably one we need. Yes. So int, uint, Guess we'll have to add metadata. So yeah, I'm just going to use uint for style IDs everywhere except where it's like an index into an array or something. we'll just set it to meta 0. Okay, everything works again. It all works. So that's the backend working for tile metadata. And I think so yeah, I think eventually somewhere in the definition of a tile we'll make some kind of flag or a boolean or something like that, which determines if random tile variations should be used, like I implemented for stone in one of the earlier streams, or if maybe tile variations based on the metadata should be used. And then, of course, the renderer will actually use the metadata that's calculated here, because right now these are not really being used, of course. But I think I want to do that another time, because I'm feeling tired. It's so warm, and I don't want to work too much in the weekends, because I also need to relax. So yeah, let's go back to the project. Today I worked on the backend for tile metadata. That's pretty much done. Oh, and before I commit, I think maybe I want to put it in here, those functions. World management system, that might make more sense than some random utility function. Some random utility class, I mean. Of course. Which means we'll have to use this instead of that. Maybe I should have used a refactoring tool to move it to the other class. And also my headset is doing weird stuff, like there's this slight noise in my ear, like very, very low, almost unnoticeable, but it does get quite annoying. It stops when I touch my my laptop chassis. So if I'm not touching it, then I have this weird thing. But if I don't touch it or barely touch it, then I have this strange noise in my headset. I think it's some kind of electrical thing, some electrical phenomenon. Maybe something to do with ground. Thing still working? Yeah. So now everything is still working. Anyway, I think I'll call it quits for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found it interesting. I must admit that this is not one of the more interesting streams. It was probably a little bit boring. But yeah, sometimes you gotta do boring things. Okay, have a nice day. Yeah, you too, 4F3C5. What a difficult name to pronounce. I hope you're happy about that. You too, weird constructor. It's been nice talking to you guys. I'll be streaming on Monday. I will not be streaming on Tuesday or on Thursday, because on both of those days I have other plans which take me out of the house. Yeah. So goodbye, and I wish you all a good day.